Okay. So, took a winning trade today. Wasn't crazy profit because it did end up coming back to my break even, but I took some contracts off at one point, managed it well enough to come out with a winner. So I'll kind of just go over that trade today, that I took today here, and then I'm done for the week actually. So I am ending the week up, which is nice. Only took one trade this week, and that was today's. Trying to think. I mean, I can't trade tomorrow because NFP is Friday. Could I technically trade after news after 8:30 on Friday? I could. I'm definitely going to be at the charts, but if I take anything, it'll be a demo trade. I'm just not comfortable enough trading on NFP, CPI, or FOMC days just yet. So this morning was the last session that I could trade this week. Anyways, okay. A few things to take note of. We are inside of a weekly fair value gap here, which is a reason why price is showing a little bit of resistance with where it is right now when you go lower. Okay, we're reacting nicely off of it right now, right? If you look at the weekly, you can tell we're reacting nicely off of it. Okay, and that was my initial draw for this week. I wanted to see us tap into there if we were going to be bearish, or if we were going to be bullish, just continue to chug along here and break above this daily fair value gap. Anyway, you can see we had the big drop yesterday, which I wasn't able to capitalize on. My model was just never present, and it just dropped without us. And then now consolidation prior to this morning's open, and even now we're still inside this range, right? What I was targeting, before I say that, okay. We took 1 hour liquidity here, okay? So I had my higher time frame PD array, which was that higher time frame liquidity, right? 1 hour. We swept it. Okay. At the same time, we had equal lows down here. Right. Previous daily low, which was my final target. Okay. I have to move this stop loss back to where it was originally. This wasn't the original stop loss. Yeah, but I was essentially, here's what I was doing before market open. I said, you know what? Look, we could see bullishness because we're inside of this weekly fair value gap, and we might reprice here. If we are going to see bullishness, we're going to most likely sweep the low first and then trade up into the fair value gap here. That would be a draw on liquidity. Even though we already did tap into it yesterday. Okay. Or the other flip side of the coin was, okay, if we sweep this high first, then we can go for the equal lows in the PDL. Which is, we swept the highs first. So I said, okay, I looked for my model. Okay, we had nice distribution. Prior to market open, if I was willing to take a trade pre-market, where is it? This right here would have been a nice entry just to take out these lows because they're that liquidity was so obvious pre-market. But anyways, was patient once market opened, right? Waited, okay, nice. Formed a fair value gap that was not the 930 candle, right? So we could use it. Tapped into it straight away. Virtually no drawdown throughout this trade, which was nice. I'm gonna get to one thing that I wish I had done better, but I managed this trade fairly well. What I did was initially I had the stop loss above this high. Okay, so initially this trade was like a 1 to 1.8, 1 to 1.9, whatever you want to call it, risk to reward. Okay, what I initially did was I took partials when we closed, or not even closed, when we tapped into this first low here. I took partials, okay, with this candlestick, you see. I took partials there, and we had 4 contracts, so I took half off here, 2 contracts off here, kept my stop loss where it was because I wanted to give the trade breathing room. It wasn't far enough down, in my opinion, to put it to stop loss to break even yet. And then what I did, and this is how I managed it. Now, essentially, I managed it correctly here in a way, and I'll explain why. What I should have done was, look, in hindsight, I had 2 more contracts left. One of those 2 should have been taken off when we tapped into this liquidity pool. What I pretty much did was, it might have been a little bit earlier than when we tapped into here, but we got to around this level and I said, I'm just going to put my stop to break even, because at this point I don't want to lose money on this trade, you know. And where I had taken those 2 contracts off, it wasn't at 50% of the move, so I would have still been down like $50 if it came and rallied back up to my stop, which it did. So I put my stop to break even, secured the profit I had taken off the first 2 contracts, and as you can see, price rallied. It didn't want to take the PDL, which is fine. But yeah, that was the winner from this morning. Biggest thing to take from this was, again, maybe manage it differently in the sense of just taking off one of the 2 contracts here that I had remaining, and putting my stop to break even, right? There's nothing wrong with taking more profit. So that could have been something to improve. And then also something I did well was just adapt. I adapted to what price was giving me, right? I gave myself multiple options. I didn't just keep myself in a box of like, price has to do this. If it doesn't do this, I'm not getting in. I allowed price to have multiple avenues to take, and I would still be ready to take a trade, right? I was just adapting to what price did. If price would have swept these lows first and started to rally, then I would have targeted this high here. But it swept the low first, so then it swept the high first, so then I targeted the PDL down here. But all in all, a good trading day, good trading week, right? Any week where you're green is a good week. And also, I followed my trading plan throughout this entire week, so that's good. And yeah, so again, psychologically, I didn't feel too bad. This wasn't a hard trade. Well, to be fair, it wasn't a hard trade to hold on to initially because there was 0 drawdown, right? But I'm not mad that it came back and hit my stop. It is like, that is what it is, you know, like that's why I managed the trade the way I did. So we secured profit. I'm happy with that. Of course, do I wish it hit the PDL? Of course, but I'm not mad. Like, I honestly wasn't even about to touch on psychology because I literally have 0 emotion felt by this other than, you know, I executed well. So I'm happy with my execution and how I managed the trade. That's about it. So yeah, but good trading day. Good trading week.